iets admin related, soos Ilana is onze go-to person. En dan het ons ook Shaniqua Magerman, sy is in IT en marketing. Maar julle gaan self net 'n bietjie by haar van haar af hoor waaroor alles gaan. Ons was altyd die beste van laaste. So, dan het ons ook Lucian Godfrey, founder and author from NMS, who also happens to be my handsome husband.
Familie, goeienaand. Goeienaand. Wow. For a change, I think I won't have to speak English tonight. But I actually never did this in Afrikaans, so het gaan ook om te struggle is. Wie is zo verstaan niet Afrikaans? Okay. I'm sure everyone is comfortable with English as well, so I'll jump in between as we go. So first, I would like to congratulate you for actually investing the time to be here. Many of my friends, when I speak to them, I'm like, what is more valuable to you? Money or time? And most people value money more than time. But at the end of the day, without time, there's no life. So I do appreciate you actually coming here. And at the same time, I'm going to do my best to teach you something that may change your life forever. It has changed my life, and I believe that it can do the same for you. So, I need to find a central position where everyone can view me. Is it? Okay, fantastic. So, I'm not going to share much about me because tonight is not about me. It's about you learning a skill. Obviously, I won't be able to download everything I have learned over the 7 years in this industry. However, I'm going to give you enough to make an informed decision of whether you want to be a part of this revolution or not. And I can actually tell you now already, this is something that you can do on your own. Because there are many misconceptions that people believe that, you know what, I need to, for instance, touch the next person with my money. Sorry for putting you on the spot, Dwayne. But Dwayne called me up and he said, you know what, I'm interested in this. And at the end of the day, he's willing to learn. So you are here also because you are willing to learn. If you are willing to put in the necessary time to learn the skill, it will put you in a place where it can change your life. I don't know, maybe you already made your life-changing money, but this has done this for me because it has transformed my life from being an Uber driver to where I am today, where I had to work 16 hours per day, and now, if I wish, I can work 4 hours per week or even 4 hours per month. But at the end of the day, it gives me time and location freedom. So when I go up, I used to stay right here in Shoulder. The circle langs Jameson out, so at the Kablaine. And my mother used to work at Netcom as a machinist. Now I don't know who's a machinist here. If you're a machinist, please don't put up your hand. Because my mother used to earn 320 rand per week. Machinists earn the lowest, I think. It's worse than the ones what Daga makes. So my mother would earn that amount of money and she had to spend a lot of time away from home in order to provide for us. Long story short, this skill can put you in a position to make money from anywhere, from a device, whether it's a laptop, whether it's a phone. You don't need a specific device, whether it's an iPad, it doesn't matter. Phone is good enough as well. So, and therefore, you will see what we stand for is basically, so NMS was started in 2021. I have done a lot of things before this in this industry. I've also burned my fingers. But I would much rather learn from someone who has gained experience, because without mistakes you don't gain experience. And therefore I know now what not to do. Yeah, that is basically in a nutshell. So we launched NFS in 2021. But when I got started in this industry, it was only 7,000 rand per Bitcoin. then almost no one heard of Bitcoin NPE until snaaks na my gekeken as ek van Bitcoin praat, né? Maar oor 'n jaar, Bitcoin is nou oor 500.000, as jy meer moontlik om vir baie mense om 'n volle Bitcoin basis te koop. Maar op die einde van die dag, as ek die informasie gehad het in 2016 wat ek nou het, because you at the start of the NFT revolution, it is still easy for you to get in, and it is still possible for any individual to get in. But obviously, as adoption takes place, then it becomes more difficult. So NFTs are under the umbrella of cryptocurrency as well. So irrespective of what your desires is, whether it is to trade, you can trade. Whether it is to build a portfolio, you can build a portfolio. And there are many more other opportunities, but I will teach you now the fundamentals. I've taught many guys in this industry. Some have gone out and created their own companies, like Vickers, for one. He comes from my hands, and he created a program where he teaches people Forex. Others have created their own, we have many other partners who have created their own businesses as well, but it needs to start somewhere. So the fundamentals is what's important. I'm going to show you the fundamentals. So irrespective of which direction you choose to go, you will have a good foundation, basically. Are we all together?
Sure.
Okay, so our mission is to teach people a high income skill, which often leads to financial, time, and location freedom. And that is what's important to me. We envision a world where all parents are able to provide a stable home for their families. Now, I don't mean to not include those who are not parents as yet, Lamash. But 90% of people that I attract throughout the world are actually parents. Oftentimes, is that? There we go. So he's going to take over now for coming late. I'm joking. You're on time, buddy. Don't worry. Okay. So that is the main goal of tonight: to teach you a skill that can make you an income where you can decide where you want to live, where you want to work from, etc. So tonight the goal is to teach you a skill where you can learn, where you earn between $1,000 and $10,000 per month. I know many of you have seen videos where many of my clients are making $10,000 in their first month. Others, like Carlo, you saw in the testimonial, he made $1 million, 1.8 million within his first year, etc. But I want you to be honest with yourself and realize where you are. The person who made 10K, for instance, who made $10,000 within the first 2 months, $10,000 times 20, so it's 200,000 rand within the first 2 months. She started with 100,000. So I also don't want you to put unnecessary pressure on yourself. If you know that you don't have 100,000 rand to start with, then you want to set your goals accordingly. So, but the idea is to teach you a skill to get you to $1,000 or $10,000 per month. Now, I'm going to speak mainly in rands, but normally I would present for people globally, so we all speak dollars, but I'm going to try and convert the whole time. So the agenda for tonight, I'm going to speak about mindset. I'm going to speak about what NFTs are, what private sales are, and how they work. Here I'm going to teach the strategies that we use. Something important that Carlo mentioned when we played the testimonial. There's a reason why he made 2 million rand within his first year. It's because he positioned himself well at the high time of the market. And he said, you can see on that recording, that was downstairs here. I was surprised when they had to move us up here, but just a few weeks ago, or more than a month ago, we had it down there. And I was shocked when he was actually there, then he shared his testimony. And he said, this is the right time in the cycle. So it's not rocket science once you know what we know. But if you don't know what we know, you won't even see the opportunity. So I'm going to speak about mindset, what MVPs are, what private sales are, strategies, and I'm going to do some bonuses. I was warned to not give away iPhones and iPads, so I'm going to try and contain myself. I'm going to see how the interaction is, and then I'll give away accordingly. So, but not to say that we are not giving away. Depending on how the turnout will be, we might be giving away another iPad. I think the guy who won an iPad this week is here. Bas Kirsten. Bas iPad. Let's give him a hand. Lastly, we'll speak about being realistic about your expectations. Now, who's familiar with this? Wie is bekend met die? Okay, Antonio is familiar with it. The author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, does it ring a bell? Now, Robert Kiyosaki says that everyone in the world, how they make their income, it can be divided into these 4 quadrants. Guys, also bear in mind, English is not my first language, so when the English is up, I'm just going to automatically go to Afrikaans. So, he teaches the cash flow quadrant. So it's either you are employee, self-employed, business owner, or you're an investor. Now, if you are finding yourself here, and it is not your goal to get here, then the time invested here will be a waste. I'm not saying it's gonna, you have to quit your job to do this, but you can be here and still be here. But your intention should actually is to get here. So, who can tell me, in terms of percentage, the population in the world, what percentage do we think of people are finding themselves here in these 2 quadrants?
85%, 90%, 90%, 85%.
Most people, right?
Yeah.
We are busy there, Galv and I, and we are doing a program with the kids, and everyone speaks about preparing them for a job after school. I'm like, yo. I'm hunting a job, so we can't jobs create because government doesn't create jobs, businesses create jobs. So therefore, I came in and I said, guys, if you want me to still be here running this program, when it comes to teaching them skills for after school, then I'm gonna preach entrepreneurial mindset. So then they said yes, yes of course, because so many of our parents, there's nothing wrong with going to school or having a job. There's nothing wrong with it, but everyone can't have jobs. Otherwise, there will be no revenue, basically. Okay, let's move on. But most people, arguably between 85 even to 97% of people are finding themselves here. If you read my book, I found me here, and then I found myself here once again. But here in this quadrant, you sell your time for money. Your skill times your time equals money. That was what my mother did. And as a result, she had to work overtime in order to make more money. Now, then I got a bit smart. I told my boss, you know what, I'm only going to work 4 days a week. You guys read the book, I'm not going to go into detail about that. But then I said, I'm going to work on Fridays, I'm going to start my own business. But then things went well. But as a result of being here, being self-employed, I didn't build a system. Yes, I had my own business, but if I wasn't there doing the work, my business didn't make money. Then I had to build a system in order to get here. Now, in terms of the percentage of money that is going around across the world, what do you think, how much percent of the money does this 2 quadrants do they control?
90%.
9 trillions. So now, we said earlier that about 95% of the population are finding themselves here, but these guys are only like 3%, 5%, but they're sitting with all of the money. And for you to earn a bit more, you need to go back to university and maybe do another year, 2 years, 3 years, in order to increase your skill. So, because your skill times time equals money. But it's still limited because your time is still limited. So, many of you who are in our WhatsApp groups, depending on what program you have of us, you would see that on Fridays the group closes. Everyone knows, all our clients knows. Because between Friday sunset and Saturday sunset, we don't work. But because I've built a business that makes me money while I'm sleeping, when I connect my phone to the Wi-Fi Saturday after sunset, I can see the notifications of the bank coming through, money that I've made, because I've built a system that makes money. And that is what you want to actually, that gives you time freedom. So, you don't see Raymond Ackerman, the one who owns Ackerman's, going to the shops and opening it up because he's built a system that generates money. So, then, these guys are the guys that find these guys and invest into their businesses. And that is exactly what I do. I speak with a lot of entrepreneurs, many well-recognized entrepreneurs in PE, having doctorates, etc. They tell me that the market is saturated. Now, if I had a lot of time, I would speak about blue oceans and red oceans, but and in summary, it is like this. A red ocean is there where everybody is already. There's red, the sharks have been there, there's nothing to eat there. Uber was a blue ocean when I started with Uber 2016. I made money. I would work from Saturday sunset right through to Sunday, the afternoon maybe, then I would make 2,000, 3,000. It's not a lot of money, but for me it was money back then. But now for an Uber driver to make that kind of money, it's a red ocean. After veel Uber has in-driver has, Bolt has, alles has. Back then there wasn't that. Now likewise, if you think .co.za, if you just think PE, then it will be a red ocean for you. You'll think that there's a lack of money. But when you think .com, when you think global, then you'll understand there's an overflow of money everywhere. You must just position yourself right, and then you'll attract money to you. But I'm going to break that down a bit because I know that it can be over some people's head, especially if you, yeah. Now, the US dollar has lost that much of its buying power. We can even say 99%. So, on the inception of the US dollar, when they created the US dollar, so let's say you could have bought 100 loaves of bread. Now, you can only buy one loaf of bread with that money. That is the US dollar that we, wat ons so voor opkyk na toe, né? How much more our rand? Guys, when I was still a teenager, I'm 36 years old now, so it's around about 20 years ago. My mother would give me 80 rand from her pay every week. I would go to the Sayers, I blame study in shoulder, and over after the Sayers too, and I had to go and do the grocery shopping. It's my mother and my 3 siblings, so we are 5. Ne? So, my pa was also gaan koop soos meeste van ons pa. So, I would then go and buy food with $80 for ons 5 for the week. Can you buy food now with 80 for 5 people? That's how fast money is losing value. That is why Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad, the author, says savers are losers. It's not me. Ne? Don't fight with me. He says savers are losers. Yeah, ek tap op tone hier so. Therefore, investors, they put their money into something that makes more, that makes you, gives you more profit than what money loses value. They would buy gold, they would buy silver, etc. Property, etc. So, but I'm going to show you different assets that you can actually acquire that will, that basically increases much faster than what your currency loses value. Because guys, if you have 1,000 rand now, 1,000 rand, Clayton, you have 1,000 rand, you go to ShopRite, you see what you can buy for 1,000 rand, you make a list of what you can buy. But now you're smart, you go to the bank, you say, you give it to the bank gives you 5% per year. So now next year, you come back with your 1,000 rand and 50 rand, 1,050 rand because you made interest. Can you buy the stuff on that list? Please. So the interest that the bank gives you is much smaller or much lower than what inflation is. So as a result, did you make a profit or did you lose money? You basically lost money. Okay, I think we get the idea. I don't want you to scare you, but I never have more than 100,000 rand in my bank account. Most of it is in assets, whether it's NFTs, cryptocurrency, etc. But I'm not saying all of you need to go and do that now, because I've been in this industry for 7 years. I know how to move around. But educate yourself, even if it's not for yourself only, because when I look at you, I see families here. Each person represents a family, maybe even a community here. So what you learn here, you can go and enlighten others. Because Germany one day woke up, their money was worth nothing. Venezuela woke up, their money was worth nothing. Zimbabwe woke up, their money was worth nothing. One morning we woke up in South Africa, Zuma changed the cabinet just like that. New ministers in every department. When the world loses trust in the leaders of a country, they don't want the currency. So just like that, our money can be worth nothing. But like I said, I don't want to scare you, I just want to educate you concerning money. Most people don't know where money even comes from. If I were to ask them what fractional reserve banking is, they wouldn't know. I think I'm going to spend 2 minutes on this because this is something, if everyone were to know this, I sal daar burger oorlog wees. As gevolg van mense weet nie, besef nie waar nog geld kom. Baie van ons werk vir geld, ons koop ons tyd. So that is why people, I explained to someone, the reason why people say things are expensive, it's because they pay with their life. Because if you sell your time for money, and life exists out of time, which means you're paying with your life basically. Are we together? So therefore, some of the coaches I had, now we have different partnerships, so I would speak to them, I would show them what I do, or when it comes to investing, for instance, let me bring it down to your level. Not that I am higher, but so you can understand. When you invest into a certain business and that business increases, you maybe invest 10K and it goes to 100K. You didn't spend any time building that business, etc. That is what investors do. And that is why you would see entrepreneurs, generally they would ask themselves, how can I afford it? They wouldn't say it's expensive or I can't afford it. It's because they generate income based on the ideas that they have. I don't want to give away V2 coaching here. But let me speak fractional reserve banking quickly, just 2 minutes. Let's say I don't believe in God and I play lotto. I don't say those who play lotto don't believe in God, but just let's say I play lotto, I win 5 million. I bank with FNB, so they deposit that money in there. Now there's something called the reserve ratio. Now currently the reserve ratio is 1 to 10. So because I'm banking with FNB, they will deposit 5 million into my account from the lotto. And then because legally the reserve ratio is 1 to 10, FNB can now make loans up to 50 million. So without this money, they wouldn't have been able to do this. So when we are working for money, others can just create money based on policies. So now they make loans up to 50 million. But now Meek is there. He is he's for instance into real estate. His credit score is good. He banks with AXA, and he's gonna buy a piece of land and develop it. And now he goes and borrows the 50 million, and then they borrow it to him, they send it to ABSA, and then they charge him interest. But now what does ABSA do? Because now they have 50 million. They're going to pay 500 million. Out of 10 years, National Reserve Banking, make a note, go and watch some YouTube videos and educate yourself concerning what money actually is. It's, yeah. But now, Mika says, you know what, I've got the 50 million, but I've got a project manager. I'm going to send the money to him, and he's going to run the project for me, and he banks with Capitec. Then the 50 million goes there, Capitec goes and creates another 500 million. Now, how long do you think this system can sustain itself? It can't sustain itself. That is beside government stealing money and, municipality stealing money. This is just legal. This is just legal without the stealing, etc. and fraud, whatever. So that is what scares me. That is why I say I see families here, because when I was living here in Shoda as a teenager, we called this cheap bread, we call it 2 rand bread. This 2 rand bread is in 12 rand now. You see, so at the end of the day, how much is the bread going to cost when our kids grow up? Enough about that. We know now what the current state of our current currency actually is. So, what are NFTs? NFT stands for non-fungible tokens. What does that mean? Non-fungible is basically it's not interchangeable, meaning I always make this example, mentions our Mukfandi example, but when I learned the first network marketing company I joined, they give you a 1 series BMW when you do a certain number of sales. Sean, ek het 'n kar gery dit nie. Ek vra my swaar met die taxi van die mense aan because I wanted to get people there. Like you guys are doing now, bringing people here so they can actually learn about the opportunity. I made sure I bring enough people so they can hear how you can actually. I didn't know what commission is. I used to sell my time for money, but when I learned about commission, I learned that if I sell insurance and if I sell medical, whenever these people pay their insurance and medical, I would earn my commission for as long as they pay. I'm not with that company for many years, maar ek pay nog steeds wanneer die mense hulle medical en hulle insurance betaal. That is what commission is. That is when you don't sell your time for money. Now, they give you a BMW once you have once you have BMW, once you have 500 people under you. Within 6 months, no one has done it ever in that company. Within 6 months, I had 500 people. I got my BMW. They gave me the office and blah blah blah. But I'm not an office kind of person. Because money is in the street. So they know in the office they would come there and I would say, okay, this is what we are doing today, and then I go. Because then I realized, you know what? I have this job as an office manager, but I don't want to be here. And as a result, what I said, you know what? Take the car. I bought myself the same car. So I don't miss. I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. But even if it's the same car, same two, let's say it's two white 1 series BMWs, same model, same color, everything. Can I now say you take this one and I take that one? No. Because each one have a unique registration. Now, that is all that non-fungible means. Non-fungible is not interchangeable. You cannot swap it and have the same value. It's not interchangeable. Likewise, when Corona came out, everyone spoke about quarantine because I'm not English. I had to go to the dictionary and find out what this quarantine word means. But likewise, non-fungible is not something new. Then I thought quarantine is a new word, only to realize this has been here for forever. Likewise with non-fungible. So now that we know what non-fungible is, a token is basically just It's a digital token, so you can basically trade it globally. So now that you understand that an NFT, it can represent digital ownership. Now there are different ways on how you can incorporate an NFT into your business. I'm going to mention a few, but I don't want you to put it in a box. Each of them are unique. When Snoop Dogg launched his NFT, him and Medic, his son, when they launched their NFT, I was fortunate to buy a few of those. We bought it for close to $100. 2,000 rand, I'm going to try and speak rands. But then I was able to sell it for 43,000 rand each. But when you have that NFT, it will, when you have an NFT in your wallet, it recognizes that wallet owns that. So all of the revenue that certain records actually produce, it gets paid to the NFT holders. So irrespective of which wallet it is, that revenue will go there. So if I sell my NFT and the next person has it, it will pick up, it's in that wallet, and it will, revenue will be paid there. Okay, let me not give away that as yet. But NMS is bringing out an NFT. Our token holders are already generating basically making money from our efforts because they hold our token. But I'm going to explain later on how the NFT that we are bringing out, how they are going to be able to earn more in terms of percentage. But just know that it is limited. Currency, rands, dollars, etc., they are not limited because it can be created through fractional reserve banking. But now when it comes to NFTs, it is limited, but they are more programmable. Now I'm going to make a small example of a traditional business and something that we know, and then I will try and link it with a business that, for instance, uses this this technology basically. But I think after sharing that, it will make you understand better why the benefit of NFTs. Remember what I said earlier, people say that the market is saturated here in PE. That is because they're thinking .co.za. If you think .com, there are many blue oceans that you can get into. When nobody is, as for instance, entered, like I have people in this industry, we call it the online education industry, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry, for instance. People making money from teaching others how to jump high. Others teaching how to, they always laugh at me when I make this example, but it's true. Other coaches are teaching you how to get a girlfriend or a boyfriend.
Hey.
Then they are making millions from that.
Hey.
So at the end of the day, if you, but they put it in a membership website, and then they basically do business globally. Now, I'm not saying you must close your business if you have a business currently in PE. Yes, there will always be room for that. But at the end of the day, when you find, that's what we basically do. If you forget everything that I say here tonight, we find some of the smartest entrepreneurs globally. We invest into their businesses early. And when we do that, when their businesses boom, and then that is where we make most of our money. Now, 2003, Elon Musk, he sold PayPal, right? Elon Musk is not actually the founder of Tesla. It was someone else who started it, but okay, he bought it out, and Tesla is Elon Musk's now. So Elon Musk promises he's only got an idea. He's going to bring us a car that drives without petrol. Back then, we didn't even have this hybrid cars, etc., or the word or the term actually. But we see now the industry has grown so much. There are so many competitions now, basically of vehicles being able to drive without that. But that was just a thought or a promise. So when they started Tesla, because they started it the traditional way, they have shares. So every business has shares. So now, but the shares didn't have a lot of money because it was just a promise, something in his mind. Many people thought, je net 'n klomp geld nou as jy mal, né? So waar kan ek gas on 'n petrol ry? But we see now today where we are standing. So then the shares didn't have a lot of money, a lot of value. So the shares, it basically, let's say it was a rand share. But what do we think, what happened when he presented the first car? What happened with the shares? It went up in value. Why? Because people wanted a share of this company. Because they know the more Tesla shares I have, the more dividends I will be earning, and the more my capital increases. Well, fast forward to 2022 when he promised that he's going to bring us the sport car, the Roadster. What happened to the shares? He became the richest guy in the world. And now they are bringing out the truck that drives 500 miles. That is 960 kilometers. Some of you have to turn Joburg sonder om te charge. The truck drives. What do we think? It's going to make a killing. That is why Tesla will forever basically make money, and it will as far on the track that they are trending on now, they will always be making money. Because when you're thinking electric cars, what do you think? You think Tesla. The others are just, if you think cool drink, it's Coke. Maar as Fanta and others, but Tesla sets the standard. And as a result, so what does this have to do with what we are speaking about here tonight? I was supposed to record this, but I never picked the record button. It's fine. We'll do it again. But what does this have to do? Elon Musk is one of the smartest entrepreneurs globally. Likewise, Jack Ma, the richest guy in China. Now, Jack Ma says that he's not smart, he just finds a way for the smartest people to work together. Smart people, they don't work together easily. I'm not going to say what you say about the rest. Okay, so, but they understand one thing. They understand this method, the TRD method. This is the strategy that is responsible for Carlo making 2 million, for me, taking me from Uber to where I am today. For many of the clients or the testimonials that you see, that is the main strategy that we use. It is so simple, people find it boring. You know, they join and then they ask, Lucian, no, what, no? I said, no, now you relax because we invest into legitimate businesses, and legitimate businesses takes time to produce results. When Elon Musk came with the promise, a few people bought into the shares, but they had to wait for him to deliver the promise, and that is when the shares went up in value. So you can't ask Elon Musk every day, what now, what now, what must I do with the shares, what must I do, what must I do? That, I know I'm stepping a few toes, but my coach teaches me to answer misconceptions whilst educating. It is the best way to have less questions afterwards. So what does the TRD stands for? The T stands for the team. The R stands for their resources, and the D stands for demand. It doesn't matter which business you are into here. If you implement this in your business, you should basically be doing better than your competitors. And I'm going to explain, but let me first share with you some of the results of the people that are implementing this method. Olusia was on a Zoom call with us in December, and I explained what we are doing, NFTs and private sales, and she said, you know what, let me get in. She had 100K that she invested into a certain private sale. But we obviously split it up. But in short, within the first 2 months, now when I did the interview, you can go and watch it on YouTube. Many of you have watched it. Therefore you came here. So our evolution was 100K in the first month. So the project, it launched. and then it doubled in value. So 100K was now worth 200K. The next month, then it increased with 50% again. So which means he made another 100K in the second month. So January and February, he made 100K, without telling people. So yes, there is a commission when you tell others, but that is not the core business. She made 200,000 Rand without telling a soul about it. You don't have to do that. So 10K is basically 200,000, right? So she made 5K first month, 5K second month. But now what makes us so special? How did we know about this? I'm going to explain to you later, and I'll show you, and you'll understand why we actually get this results. So Colin, he was on a call. Many of you remember, it's not compulsory for you to share your testimony, eh? But I was doing a Zoom call, and I said, Colin just got onto the Zoom. Guys, Colin just, within his first 2 weeks, he made, then I shared on the Zoom, I said he made $10,000 because I showed him a few trades, and then he made $10,000, but then he stopped me, he said, Lucian, I made $20,000. That's 400,000 Rand that he made. But remember, Colin owns the aluminium company there in Galvin, so he's got a bit of money, so his capital that he started with was a bit more or less 100K. Yeah? So I want to put it in perspective. There's nothing wrong with starting with 1,000. I started with 1,000 Rand in 2016 of February of 2016, because 1,000 Rand was a lot of money for me back then. I remember I was driving Uber. So, but it took me time to basically build a portfolio. This person, within one day, the market went up 10%. This person made 234,000 Rand in 24 hours. $250,000 within 24 hours. Why? Because he's built his portfolio up. Oftentimes, I mean, last week the market went up 25%. When the Apple won the case against the SEC, the market went up 25%. So I'm not. So if your portfolio at that point of time was worth 5 million, and it goes up 25%, you just made 1.2 million in one day. But let me bring it down a notch. Let me explain here. What did this person do? His portfolio built it over time, so it's close to 2 million at that point of time. So when the market goes up 10%, what is 2 million? What is 10% of 2 million? 200,000. So it's not a rocket science. So, but I don't like sharing big results, because you have two problems. A person coming in with a small amount of money and expecting that results, and then the person who understands how money works and knows it's almost impossible to make that kind of money. So he'll say, no, 200,000 in one day, no, this must be a scam. You understand? So that's why I don't like sharing you won't see this on my YouTube channel. You would see the 5,000, 10,000, etc. testimonials. Yeah? Now, misconceptions. Most people think you need to give your hard-earned money to others to trade for you. You don't need to do that. And that is where, in this industry, there are more scammers than anything else, than legitimate businesses. For every 1,000 opportunities in this industry, one may be legit. Most of it will be scams. Because remember, when people are not educated concerning it, it's easy to lay your mommy boss, né? Because they don't know. So as a result, they make you believe that ek maar inkom jy sê is tyd vir hom hoor te vat nou. So they make you believe that you need to give your hard-earned money to them, but that is not the case. We have step-by-step tutorials to show you how to do this on your own. Even if you are only to invest 1 hour per week, you will still be able to learn the skill. Like I said, it's very simple on how to do it. It is the patience that people don't have. Remember, at the beginning I said, it's important that we have the right mindset. Also, a lot of people think that you'll need to trade all day. You don't need to trade all day. I have many clients who buy into certain projects, and then they go on with their life. They come after 6 months, they come after 3, they come after a year, etc. And then, like for instance, one of my clients, Gordon, he's retired, he's always traveling all over. Wherever it is summer, he would fly there and then he would be there. So after a year, he calls me. He said, Luciano, we want to come for a Zoom call. He's here from Durban. At that point in time, I think he was in Thailand. We jump on a Zoom call. He looks at his portfolio. It's up 10 times. So then he make a few moves, and then he does his thing. He travels, etc. Remember, that is, I believe that is one of the most effective ways on how to grow your portfolio. Yes, we do provide for day traders. If you want to trade on a daily basis, you can do that as well. We do provide that education. I'm also taking trades frequently. I think it was this week when I showed the trade. So NMS also does trades, our clients as well. So however, you get different kind of trading. But trading takes more focus, more time investment, etc. There's nothing wrong with it, but like I say, it takes a bit more of your time if you have time. But our main model is basically building your portfolio over time and then getting a result such as this person. Guys, when you have a big portfolio, when you have like 2 million, the market frequently goes up 10% or 15%, etc. But obviously, when it's still small, you can still get there, but over time, this person also started with less than 10,000, but it took time to obviously get there. One of the main misconceptions is also, you need to invest big. You don't need to invest big. I started right where I was with 1,000. Now, let's get back to the TRD method. 2 years ago, I was fortunate to take 500K. 500,000 and it's just $25,000. Yeah? I don't want to sound ungrateful, yeah? But even with $1 million, you can't brag of being a millionaire in South Africa. With that $1 million, you can't buy a house outside of the northern areas even. You can't buy a house and furnish it and a car, whatever. Are we together? So I took 500K and I got into this ecosystem. Now each person in this ecosystem, each person in this group, he needs to have 500,000 rand to get into this group. But the opportunity that you get in that group, you make way more than that. Now I took $25,000. Like I said, I will speak rand, 500K, and I got access to this group. This group is a group of whales. Whales are basically those who have a lot of cryptocurrency or a lot of NFTs. In traditional money, we would say they are millionaires. These guys, they are stacked, but they are in different industries. The one is in beauty, the one is in transportation, the other one, yeah, it's throughout the world. We are about 110 people in there. I'm the only African in there. Yeah? Ang African I will say 500 days na, mag-egg betal, kumanay from the book. But remember, that's not money out of pocket. It's just you need to hold certain amount of tokens. Let's say you need to hold certain amount of shares to get access to that. But that 500K is worth over $1 million now. And I still have access to it, but they ordered it every month. So if I were to sell those, I would get deleted out of this group. Are we together? Now we are all familiar with, what is this? Shark Tank. Yeah? So the group of billionaires, an entrepreneur comes and he pitches his business idea. If they buy into it, they must know that they have the support of that guy. It's an influential guy. So it will go global most probably. Now, yeah, a lot of influential guys in here. Entrepreneurs comes to us, they pitch their ideas. Some of them need coders, they need marketing, others need financial injection. We've got everything in there. Sure. If we buy into that business, remember I'm representing thousands and thousands in Africa, and not Africa alone because I have a global audience. So if we buy into that idea, Your business is going to go global within a day because there are influencers in there, there are celebrities, there are, you know, you get the idea. So I was able to get in there, and now, as when I got into the group, I realized, but these guys are also implementing this strategy. Maybe they don't call it the same. I came up with a name, but it's the same thing that we implement. Before they could buy into a business, they would look at the team. They would look at whether the team is trustworthy, whether they are transparent. Is this a guy that is excited about something now, and next month is excited about another thing, and next month is excited about another thing? You can't invest with such a person. Because, I mean, do they have a track record of being able to deliver this product that they promised to deliver? The R stands for resources. Do they have the money to actually deliver this thing? When what's his name? Elon Musk, he promised Tesla, the Tesla cars, but he ran out of money because the market did this, where the market collapsed in 2008. So it took longer to actually bring this car also, but he could go and sell his shares, and as a result, he then had more money to then deliver the product. And then once he delivered the product, he knew there will always be demand for his cars. When you go to Utrecht, you'll see thousands and thousands of VW standing there. When you want to buy a Tesla, you wait months and years for your Tesla. It's staan nie so rond. It doesn't just stand there, thousands and thousands of cars. No, that's for VW. He knew that the demand is through the roof. So that is why you can't even deliver a Tesla whenever you want to. You can't just walk into the shop and just go and buy a Tesla. You have to order it, especially if you want it new. Maybe second-hand, yeah. So, if your business implements this, I don't see a reason why you shouldn't be making a killing. If there is demand, now a lot of projects comes to this industry. Now, let me explain where scams comes from.
Okay.
Oftentimes, these people believe that they can deliver that. But guys, in the traditional businesses, 9 out of 10 fail. Without our industry, without the crypto industry, 9 out of 10 fail. And more even in this industry, because it's easier for you to basically get people to invest with you. But this group of people have taught me more than what I learned. Within 2 years, I learned more about business than what I've learned all of my life. And I've paid a lot of mentors. When I wanted to write the book, I paid a mentor to teach me how to write the book. I'm not the author by birth. When I wanted to take my business globally, I had to invest $10,000, 200,000 rand to get into a Facebook group. But what you learn in that Facebook group makes you more money than what you took out in order to be there. And now, other coaches are paying me to teach them what I know, and I make what they pay me even more than that. You know, that's besides me taking my business global. So at the end of the day, that is exactly what I'm doing. Most people don't have 500,000 rand to get into this group. But the opportunities that are there, that is what because I'm there, I give the people that are in my ecosystem, that are in my business, I give them access to that. And we are busy wrapping up now, and we'll show you how you can actually participate in that. So, this is how it works. Entrepreneur comes and he says, you know what, I'm going to, one of the, Olutle, who made the $20,000, she invested into Houdini. It's that token is proof. I'm not going to explain the business model, but we could say, okay, no, this is something that is going to work. We invested into it, so we did 20x up until now. 20x is, think of an amount that you are willing to start off with. Let's say 10,000 rand. 10,000 rand times 20. 200,000. 10K to 200,000. Now, how does this work? Now, let me explain quickly. Can you see now, sir? Clayton? These are private. Okay. Jy weet ek geld jy moet sê. Okay. Entrepreneurs comes to us and says, you know what? I'm gonna deliver this. I have this business idea. I either need marketing or I need developers to code this, etc. They need different things from us. Some need financial injection, most of the time. So if we believe that it's going to be a business that will work, we buy into it, but we buy in on the private sale. The community doesn't know about that. The public doesn't know about it. They don't even know it exists. So now, because in the group we have different leaders, and then we give influencers like your Bud Boy, your Capital Benter, all of those big influencers. Social media, they've got a few million followers, etc. We give them an opportunity to buy in, and once they bought in, they go and make noise about it. They make videos and they write articles, etc. about it. They create awareness, and as a result, when we launch, let's say when we launch, and we go to 0.03, these guys are happy because they have times 6 their money. These people are excited because they're buying on launch. It's day one for them. They don't know these guys exist. They don't know these guys. They only know that this token is going to launch that day, so they're buying. For them, it's day one that on PancakeSwap, on Uniswap, on WinSwap, right? So what happens? Now this company has more and more partnerships, and as they have more and more partnerships, more and more people buy in. There's the demand goes up, and what does it do? It increases in value. Binance and Luno, they are not going to launch you on day one of your company. You must first show a track record. So by the time when the exchanges are going to list you on there, you have to have shown that you have a track record over time. Right? So when it launches on the exchange and it goes to 0.03, those people buying there on day one, to them it's day one. They think that they are early, not knowing that those of us invested already in the private sale 2 years ago. So when it gets there, it's times 100. But the public doesn't have access to this. Most people in crypto don't even know how a decentralized exchange works. Most people only know how to use Luno and Binance and whatever. If you are buying on there and thinking you are early, you are 2 years late. So, but I wouldn't have had access to it if I weren't in this group. And as a result, we give our members obviously access to the projects that comes. We give them access to this. So, just to give you an idea, now no one holds a gun to your head and say you must hold for 2 years. But let's say you invested into the private sale and they sell 1,000, and you held it for that amount of time. That is where it goes to. So you can sell here, you can sell here, you can sell here whenever you want because it's in your wallet. The last thing that I want to do is to work with other people's money. Each person downloads that. We show you exactly how to download your own wallet, how to take control of your own funds. Guys, that is where the scammers comes in. Because most people are too lazy to learn how to do it themselves. That's why they give it to others. And then those guys, what do? They just put off the website. That's all. Guys, I've seen, I won't say every, but I've seen almost every scam in this industry over the 7 years. After learning this, if you still get scammed, as your problem, man. Because at the end of the day, you can still make this kind of income by having control of your own private keys, by taking control of your own funds. It's not hard to learn. It will take you like an hour, maybe to set up your things. And at the end of the day, you can just monitor as the company grows that you obviously investing. But the main thing is to have patience. Have patience. Now, I have a free book. It's just the first 3 chapters. So in the free book, you can get it at nftmillionaireseekers.com/free. first 8 chapters, that is basically just to get you to understand where I'm coming from, etc. And I mean, if I were to go out on the street and say, copy book if I made for 250 rand, he's not going to buy it because he doesn't know me. Why should I buy your book? So I give away the free book, and in there, there's a bit of magic in there. Then people would, once they have the free book, they would say, Lucian, nee man, waar kan ik die volle boek krijgen? Je kan misschien, als anders, je praat, and stop here halfway. Waar kan ik die volle boek krijgen? Then he wants to buy it because now he knows who I am and where I come from, etc. And he knows that I'm sharing the strategy in the last part of the book. Now he wants a full book. So if you don't still want to waste your time with the free book, you can go directly to the full book. I mean, 250 is nothing for what you will learn there. So get the audio and the ebook. You will get training that we value at about 18,000 rand. You stand a chance to win an iPad, such as what Kirsten has won this week. We should be giving away most probably tonight or later on, maybe next week, but we're going to see, but it's based on the sales. Now, everything to me, it must make mathematical sense. As the besigheid sense maak, I don't implement it. So, you can also earn up to 30% in terms of commissions. So, that is the book. Now, you can, after this, you can decide, you know what, I'm going to go and spend 3 hours per day from YouTube learning all of this that Lucian has taught me and learning how to do it. You can do that. But if you decide to partner with us, we have a step-by-step members website. We show you step-by-step tutorials, how to do this. You can do it within hours, within even less than 1 hour. You can do it. Remember what I said earlier about the value of time and money. I didn't know how to write a book. It would have taken me many years to write a book. I paid a coach to teach me how to write a book, and I did it in a month. And the reviews that I get from there, people, I'm like, still can't believe. I mean, but it still amazes me, the reviews. But at the end of the day, I paid coaches to teach me how to write, the layout, everything. So I just had to do, just to share my skill. But their skill is how to write the book. So at the end of the day, it's like going up Kilimanjaro. Do you want to spend 2 days getting to the top, or will you pay a guide 200 rand to show you how to do it within 3 hours? So at the end of the day, that is basically how we see our product. So this is once again in a nutshell. With the book, you get the 3 bonus trainings, the stand chance to win an iPad, and you earn up to 30% commissions. But you can, this is our website, nftmillennialseeker.com, and you can get the full book there. Put in your email address, put in your details, your name, your email, your phone number, and your sponsor. Your sponsor is the person who told you about this. Okay? I'm not going to give a date. We are soon going to have a mobile app launching, and then you won't have to put in your sponsor even, they'll just have their own link. But for now, please put in the person who invited you, their name and surname. We just want to say thank you to them. Now, what is this view one? Remember what I said, if you want to do this on your own, we have given you basically the strategy that we use. But if you want to see how we implement this, if you really want me to show you, click here, click there, click there, click there. That is what our membership website is about, the tutorials, right? So if you want that, if you want us to hold your hand on this journey, put up your hand. Okay, majority here. Because that's just the smartest thing to do. Why would you want to spend years, obviously, to learn what you can just learn here? So, V1, this is what it's about. Now, friends of mine ask me, but Lucian, how do you actually make money? Because it's like you're giving everything away. But to me, it's more about educating. No, I'm not going to stand here and say I don't make money out of this. Yes, I do make money. But based on what we teach and the opportunity that you get, it's more beneficial for you than for me. Because 1,000 rand is going to do nothing to me. Or even to you. but at the end of the day, this is the benefit when you get V1. Now, I sat in a seminar and certain doctor speaks and he speaks about V1 and I said, I was at the men's camp recently and I said, wow, this is amazing. And that is how I see V1 actually, or this package. When an aircraft is on the runway and it reaches its full speed, and before it needs to take off, the pilot puts it in V1. And when he puts it in V1, there's no going back. I'm going to say no refunds, but okay. But yeah, there's no going back. If something were to come in front of it, it would rather take off. And that is what V1 is. When you make the decision to partner with us, the stuff that you learn from there, you can't go back. The stuff that you learn, you're like, I wish I knew this before. I would have been far.
Sure.
So with V1, you get the step-by-step NFT trading course. We are launching the mobile app soon. You'll also get the trading, the spot trading in there. Yeah? So you'll learn you'll basically learn trading as well. Trading crypto. So you'll get access to these private sales. Guys, the private sales that comes through here, the one gave us 20x. There are others that gave us 5x, 7x, etc. Like for instance, there's one, okay, it's on the slide, I'm not gonna jump towards it. But like for instance, the NMS token, the last 7 days, it's up 50%. So if you had $1 million, okay, let me not speak millions. If you had 1,000 rands worth of those tokens last week, now it is worth 1,500. Now, if the bank gives you 5% per year, it will have taken you 10 years to get 50%. So to me, because as a no-brainer demand. So I always say, the only way our person says no to this, if they don't have the money as yet, or they are not smart. And I know by the look, I can see that they are smart people here. So, as a result, guys, with V1, you're getting 4,000 rands worth of NMS tokens. Now, what is the NMS token? We recently launched the NMS token. It's still the beginning phase of it. We have partnerships, and me personally, I consult for them. We have entrepreneurs that are starting in this industry. They pay us between 10 and 30,000 rand. Just one partner last week paid us 1,700 US dollars, 30,000 rand. So based on what their revenue is, so we take shares into their company. So on a monthly basis, so when we have 10 partners and they pay us 30,000 rand a month, that means we're making 300,000 rand a month. That is besides NMS has 2 million invested into different private sales. So when that private sale does a 10x, it's 20 million. Or when it does a 100x, it's 200 million. And that money goes towards buying back the NMS token. What does that mean? I had to break this down. So because NMS has 2 million invested and it's got also an income on a monthly basis, currently it's only 200k. Guys, I didn't have to share this 200,000 that my company is making because we built it. Okay, and my team there. I said we. Yeah? But because I know we will go much further as a community, that is why we are sharing the education and we are also sharing the income from NMS. So everyone who was holding NMS token, last week they had that, and because NMS is making money constantly, we bought back our tokens, then it went up 50%. So everyone's money went up 50%. So if you're not holding NMS token, you didn't make 50%. That is just simple as this. But it's just the beginning, because we still have 2 mil. Besides this, making this income on a monthly basis, we still have 2 million invested into other private sales. Companies that is 10 times bigger than NMS. Because what you see now is NMS, the South African, the brand. Yeah? But this group, these are multi-millionaires, etc. Sometimes I run into a problem. Luciana is minus, what, a mobile app? No, just do this. Because they've got experience building multi-million dollar businesses. Some of them have experience building billion-dollar businesses. And that is where we are going. It's only a matter of time. I know people, they thought I'm crazy when I shared my goals on going from where I was, especially the people who knew me. Because, I mean, I used to go to school and my Martin's hand on glutencopy, then I would put bubble gum in there and act as if my leg is so, I just walk like this. But now today, we laugh about it, but now today, I can give away, on my birthday, I give away school shoes because I know what it feels like not having school shoes, but I'm going off the topic now. But the value of NMS token, this is just the beginning. And that is why we share the profits, because at the end of the day, when we share the profit, people go and tell others about this. As a result, we all grow together. And it's only a matter of, my point that I was making was the fact that I understand why people basically didn't believe what I envisioned when I got started, because the results wasn't there. Now when you reach this, they're like, yeah, congratulations, etc. But this is just the beginning phase. Not that I am not grateful, but the goal is to have a drug rehabilitation center, etc. And there's a lot of stuff on the way still. And those will take hundreds of millions. So, therefore, but 2 million, 5 million, you can't get excited about it, because at the end of the day, even it won't last you 10 years. Ask the people who retired a few years ago. Okay, so that 4,000 rands worth of NMS tokens that you get with V1, when NMS does a 10x, it means times 10. Your 4,000 goes to 40,000. That's without you doing anything. That's just by holding the token. Are we together? So like I said, it's just the beginning. The success of a business can't be calculated. I mean, the token only launched a month ago. It can't be calculated in the first month. So you're still very, very early, because these other projects didn't launch as yet, where we have 2 million invested. So your 4,000 worth of NMS tokens, they have the potential to go to 40K. And for V1, you pay 10,000 rand. Now, you get the potential of having 40K, you get the education, and you get the potential, and you get access to some of these projects that we invest into. So, therefore, what I said was, I mean, who doesn't want to take 10K to 40K? So it's only a person that obviously doesn't have that, and there's nothing wrong with not having it, because I've been there over and over. So how you can get a V1? For now, do we still have the body warmers as a promotion? Yes, ne? So we said we are giving away 100.
Yes.
Yes. So
We are 73.
we're on 73. Okay, so we still got 27 body warmers that we give away with V1. So you can get V1 on our website for 10K. What is the other giveaway? And then you also stand a chance to win an iPad. Yeah? Yes. Yeah, we have other promotions, but I don't want you to only focus on the promotions. I don't even want you to focus on the 4,000 rands worth of NMS tokens that you are getting. Most people, they don't even go and watch the training. They just want to know about this token and how much it's going to be and how long and whatever. Guys, the education in that, it puts you in a position to make way more than that. They don't go and watch the training, they just want to know about the tokens that they get. The education in there, it puts you in a position to change your life forever. So, that is V1. But guys, remember, you get access to private sales, but you can only invest up to 50,000 rand into different ones. we give you access to some of the projects, only up to 50,000 rand. If you have more than 50K that you want to invest, then you'll need to actually get yourself V2. V1 includes, V2 includes V1, but it also includes the leverage trading course. So it's basically trading futures. I share the results in V1. They see this trade, the least of it. When it hits a stop loss, then it will make maybe 6,000 or 10,000, etc. But if it hits the take profit, then it's always in the million, 2 million, etc. So we share the results with V1 members. But in the V2 group, we have a group for V2, it's the how-to. So if you want to learn how to do that as well, and you have more than 50K, if you don't have more than 50K to invest into different projects, just stick with V1 for now. Grow your portfolio. Like Carlo shared, every cycle, you grow your portfolio in cycles. Everything works in cycles. Don't try and find a short way. We have elections in our churches every 2 years. A different president is being elected every 5 years. Oranges grow in winter only. Everything works in cycles. Don't want to find a short way. That is what will keep you back. And you'll find out 7 years later, you know what, if I just went this straight away, I would have been able to get there. So V2, you'll obviously be able to invest more into these projects. Not only up to 50K. So remember, up to 50K in V1, but it's 10,000 rand into 5 different ones. But in V2, you can invest 100K. Oftentimes, you get it. And many of the private sales that is very limited. It would only be for the V2 members because when I send the message there, they just buy everything up at once. But like I say, there's a good amount of private sales for the V1 members as well. So don't feel left out if you're in V1. But just grow your portfolio, and when you get there, then you can always upgrade. And then you also get 8,000 rands worth of NMS token. So when that does 10x, the 8,000 is 80,000. So in my mind, that is obviously it's a no-brainer. You can get access to it at nftmalagasika.com/V2. Now, I was warned. Remember, the mentor, I paid him 200,000 and 10K. 200,000 sounds a lot. It's $10,000. And I'm not supposed to sell anything less than $5,000. But they said Africa, they don't want me to sell anything less than 100K. But obviously looking at our market, we want to try and help people. But I said this before I launched. This beginner's course, I told people I don't want to do this course. But I launched it and it's doing currently, as I said, and now my team understands why I said what I said a few months ago. But, okay, but we're getting there, we'll just employ more people with more patience. Because a person that pays you 200K, they have the drive, they will watch that training and they will implement it. A person that pays you 2,000 rand, they'll be like, but I don't have time to watch these videos. I mean, the mindset is just different. And at the end of the day, but obviously we also want to cater, not just because of those kind of people, we don't want to cater for people who don't afford V1. So therefore we created the beginner's course. You get all of these benefits. You are limited to obviously not directly having access to me. It's from V1 up, but you do work with the team. You also are limited to only being able to invest up to 10,000 rand into different projects. You're also getting 600 rands worth of NMS tokens. And for the beginner's course, that 6,000 obviously has a potential to go to 6,000 rand. But for the beginner's course, you can get in at 3,500 rand. This is basically, this is now, if you if you can't afford the V1, the V1 is basically a much better deal. But for a person that can't afford V1, they can get their feet in on the beginners. But like I say, it gives you enough opportunity to go and afford V1. But you're not necessarily going to get rich here, but you're going to go. Like when I started with Uber, when I was on Uber still, this would have been a good start for me because I had a small amount of money, but the idea would always be to obviously go as you go. So that you can get for $167, 3,500 Rand at this website. Now for those of you who are like myself, guys, I like sales because I've paid a mentor $10,000 to teach me how to do it, how to take my business globally. Because I know everything I sell, if what you sell is something good, you have no problem selling it. The problem is when you are selling something that is not going to benefit the next person. It must be a win-win. So at the end of the day, those of you who are interested in actually creating awareness or telling others about this, there is a way for you to make money, extra money. Especially, let's say you bought V1, but now you don't have more money. You have your 4,000 Rands worth of NMS tokens, but you still want to invest into all of these opportunities in the group that other people are investing into and they're making money, and it's frustrating if you can't invest into this but higher now. So this is a way for you to make more money. When you introduce people, I'm not going to speak about all of the products, but when you, remember this is not the core business. I don't want you to think that for you when you get into this industry that you need to go and tell others. No, you don't have to tell others. You can stop right there. In fact, most people, it's just for them alone. But because I'm a networker, that's why I'm traveling all over the country, telling people about this, and others are doing the same. Only if you wish to, like Mikas. Yo, Mikas is on fire, guys. Yo, Jesse, well, I shouldn't be mentioning names because it's coming from all over. Even, yeah, but I'm not gonna, yeah, let me have to stay here. Let me stay here. Guys, when you introduce others to buy our products, you earn 30% commission. So obviously V1, 4,000 Rand already the client gets back, so you earn 30% of the 6,000 Rand. It's basically 1,500 Rand. So for every person that you introduce to V1 or any other product, you get 30%, but I'm just going to do the calculations on V1. When you introduce 10 people, you get yourself 15,000 Rand. But obviously for each person you introduce, we pay the 1,500, 1,500. It's between 1,500 and 1,800. But when you get to 10, that is rank 1, you get an iPad. But if you do it within before the 13th of October, your first 10, then you're getting an iPhone with it as well. So, rank 2, where you have introduced 25 people to the business, you have earned 45,000 Rand. And then we basically for you and yourself, you win a +1. We pay for you for a weekend away. Accommodation, flights, locally in South Africa. And then we go on excursions, etc. So, rank 3, where you, sorry, it should have been 3 there. Rank 3 is when you have introduced 100 people into this business. This takes time. Remember, guys, I've paid a mentor to teach me how to do this, so you have the training on how to do this. It's best if you don't know how to do it. Then I can show you the right way. I have a problem with those who think they know how to do it. Because, guys, people don't like rejection. Most people do sales wrong. And because they get rejected, they feel that, no, I don't want to do sales, or it's not fun. Now, if you have something good, you will do it even without getting paid. So, but we have basically training on showing you how to do it the right way. Then, when you have, when you reach rank 3, you've earned 180,000 Rand, but you also qualify for the international holiday. We are going to Thailand in July. In July, you need to qualify by December. It's 7 days, flights are paid for, accommodation is paid for, breakfast is paid for. You will just have to, remember you've made 180K already in commissions, you'll just have to pay for your lunch and for your supper and when we do excursions. But guys, our money is much stronger than Thailand's, so it's not gonna cost an arm and a leg. Yeah? But your flights, your accommodation, your breakfast, everything is included. Who's going next year? Obviously, rank 4, it takes a bit more effort, but obviously with time you can do that. Then you earn 980K in commissions. You get either the Land Rover Defender, it has a value of 2 million, a house to the value of 2 million, or you can say, you know what, just give me the money. That is in a nutshell. Currently, our members are investing into Amino. Guys, I don't have much time, so Amino has already partnerships with NFL, with Amazon, with Binance, and other influencers. Amino is launching in September. It's 10 times bigger than what NMS is about. We have 1 million of the 2 million is invested in Amino.
Yes.
So you can get access to invest into Amino, into the private sale. So that's basically in a nutshell. If you have any questions, you can ask now. And then if you're a bit shy, like most of us, you can always contact support. But we are here to answer your questions. So I'm going to give over to Shaniqua now because we are basically done.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Shaniqua. Shanique is Lucian's wife, so please don't get confused. I'm not married, I'm single, no kids, nothing. I am in the media and IT section. I'm doing photography, videography. We recently started a page called NMS Productions. I don't know if anybody has seen that. That is also under NMS. It was originally birthed through Uncle Lucy, through Mr. Lucian because of my talent. Sorry for being so casual about calling him uncle whatsoever. This is the first time I'm standing here in front of such a lot of people, so my nerves check a bit. But nonetheless, if you have photography, anything that you want to do, birthdays, farewells, anything, we are up and we are available to do any of that anytime. So most of you maybe didn't cook, didn't eat, you probably came straight from work. So at the back there's coffee for whoever drinks coffee, tea, biscuits and some snacks. So anybody's welcome to go eat. Moenie skaam wees nie, moenie skaam vir jou mag as die tafel is oop, you can eat as much as you want. And one more thing. At the back we have our new banner up, so I'm willing to take pictures of anybody who wants some pictures.
No.
Free of charge. We know NMS is about making money, but yeah, we have some things for free. So if everyone wants to take pictures at the banner, I will do that for you. Thank you. And now I will give over to Miss Ilana. Felish is also single, don't worry.
Goeienaand allemaal. Ons het aan het einde gekomen van ons seminar. We hebben het dank gezegd eerstens voor onze vader in de hemel. Want hij heeft het mogelijk gemaakt ons voor die aand nog aan school gedaan. Ons wil ook voor Mr. G en Mr. Godfrey. Dank je voor de manier hoe hij altijd hier seminar, kan ik zeggen, plat voor ons verdedigt wat ons kan leren. En ook uitkomt van een van die dagen ons allemaal hetzelfde leven moesten. Maar ik wil voor iedereen zeggen, baie dankie van zonder iedereen vanavond. Kon die niet een succes geweest zijn. Ik is blij ook, ons zien baie gezichtjes wat in elke seminar komt. Ons is blij ook voor die wat vanavond voor de eerste keer is. Ons het er gisteren achter, zoals die namen ja op is, maak zeker die namen van Mr. Bosman. Hij heeft iedere tijd dan van die namen en hij geeft voor iemand iets. So, baie dankie voor de aan.
I know I've been warned not to give away too much, but just to reward you guys for listening, né? For listening well. I'm going to ask a question. Please put up your hand first before answering. We're going to give away a t-shirt. I'm going to ask 2 questions, a t-shirt, and I'm also going to give away 1,000 NMS. Is that fine?
Yeah.
Okay. So, for... Okay, so, what does NMS stand for?
First hand, yes.
No, man. Go for it.
NMS, NFT Millennial Secrets.
NFT Millennial Secret. Okay, fantastic. You are the winner of the t-shirt. Awesome stuff. So, for 1,000 NMS tokens, what is the name of my wife?
First hand, yeah.
Okay, is that the first name?
Yes, first name.
Okay, go for it. Sharonique, okay, it's wrong.
Next.
Okay, you guys called out. Guys called out. Is it, okay, sir, you with the nightcap on?
Shaniqua.
You get it now.